Picture someone handing you a briefcase with exactly $88,000 in cold, hard cash. If you're just starting out in your 20s, that kind of money feels like absolute wealth. It feels like you've already made it. But that isn't a starter fund. According to the Federal Reserve, $88,000 is the median retirement balance for Americans age 65 and older. That is the middle-of-the-pack result after nearly 4 decades of clocking in, sitting in meetings, and earning a paycheck. Let's look at what that actually buys you. This diagram shows how that $88,000 translates to income using the standard 4% rule, the baseline guideline for what you can safely withdraw from your investments each year without running out of money. When we slice off 4%, it leaves you with about $3,500 to live on for an entire year. We have to divide that annual slice further. When we chop that $3,500 up across 12 months, the reality of that nest egg becomes incredibly clear. Your monthly income from a lifetime of saving comes out to just under $300. Think about trying to survive in modern America on $300 a month. Even if you own your home outright and have zero debt, that amount won't cover a few weeks of groceries, let alone utilities or healthcare, and the math simply does not work. To really understand the danger here, we have to weigh that tiny withdrawal against the unavoidable cost of staying alive. Data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that the average American household spends $5,577 every single month. This chart visualizes exactly where that money goes. We start with the heaviest block at the foundation, housing. Rent, mortgages, taxes, insurance, and maintenance consume nearly $1,900 a month right out of the gate. Then we stack the rest of basic survival on top of it. It takes almost $700 a month just to keep a family fed, and over $900 a month for transportation, covering car payments, gas, and insurance. Place that $300 in investment income next to this towering mountain of expenses. The nest egg is immediately obliterated by the first week's grocery bill. Most people plan to fill this gap with the government safety net, but the Social Security Administration reports the average monthly retirement benefit pays out only $1,550. Let's run the final calculation. Take the $5,577 monthly expense, subtract $1,550 from Social Security, and $300 from investments. You are left bleeding over $3,700 every single month just to break even. How exactly does a typical worker, earning a median full-time income of $52,000 a year, end up falling into this massive hole? This graph shows the first major wealth killer. The average household carries over $9,000 in credit card balances. When you factor in the typical 20% interest rate, this debt compounding against you acts as a severe financial bleed, draining thousands of dollars a year that should be building your net worth. The second flaw is a chronically low savings rate. Americans save about 6% of their after-tax income. Because that margin is consumed by short-term goals, like repairing a roof or buying a car, there is zero momentum left for compound growth. Then comes the timeline disconnect. The average retirement age in America is 61, but you cannot collect full Social Security benefits until you hit 67. That creates a 6-year window where you have almost zero incoming cash flow. This timeline tracks the true length of retirement. With life expectancies stretching well into the 80s, someone stepping away from work at 61 is staring down a grueling distribution phase. That is 2.5 decades of funding a lifestyle without a paycheck. 39 years of following standard financial habits produces a retirement fund that mathematically cannot support even 39 months of basic survival. The math leads to a single conclusion. Average approaches to money guarantee failure. The good news is avoiding this trap does not require a 6-figure salary or an inheritance. The bar to beat these statistics is incredibly low. You start by paying off consumer debt to stop the interest payments from destroying your cash flow, and you increase your savings rate from 6% up to 15%. Look at what happens when you trim $1,000 of unnecessary fat from that typical monthly budget. Invest that difference consistently over 20 years, and the math starts compounding in your favor. Channeling those redirected funds into low-cost index funds completely rewrites your financial trajectory. It creates a robust portfolio that renders the $88,000 trap entirely obsolete. That $88,000 statistic is a warning, not your inevitable future. You have the numbers. Now you have to make an active choice to step away from what is normal today, before the brutal math catches up to you tomorrow.